Okay, and almost on cue with Sam Mitchell saying that, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. They don't have to because they're flying at the minute. 3
of their last 4, and they've beaten sides around them at the moment, Hawthorn, but their aggression, they beat Ross Lyon in a Ross Lyon game, so it was low scoring. Have a look at that, 8 goals to 7, but they just outlasted them. I thought they were the better side across the day, but Hawthorn just getting the job done at the moment, and have a look at the happiness in the box, 3 of the last 4.
Fantastic, fantastic. They're beating sides around them, but that Western Bulldogs win looks a bit better after what they did last night. But, yeah, and there's Ross Lyon. They're in a tough spot now. They look like a bottom 4 side, the Saints, with their play. They're playing their footy and not being able to score.
Well, it is Mother's Day, and we said to Kane when he arrived this morning, we said, Kane, you're not doing volcano on Mother's Day, all right? It's a day of celebration. And he said, no, I'm not doing a volcano. I'm doing 3 this morning. So here we go. This is Kane Cornes with his Mother's Day edition of the volcano, and he ain't lying.
Yeah, I'm going to volcano Ross Lyon. I just think he's turned into an excuse machine. After every loss, I'm sitting there going, what excuse will Ross come up with after a loss? And this is what he went with yesterday.
And it's not an excuse because... But we've had a lot of tight games, but we get 4 messages a quarter, and with 3 minutes to go, you can't send the runner, which is, I get that. And people say, well, kick more goals and you get those opportunities, but it's still limited, right? So from my end, I find that incredibly frustrating. It's not an excuse, but I know when you think the pressure that gets put on, and you can pick up the phone and shift some stuff and maybe score better. I don't know, it's interesting that you can newt. We're like neutered dogs, right? We sit there, can see stuff, and you can't use and you can't fix. It's very difficult. But it's not an excuse.
So kicked 53 points yesterday, and the runners was the excuse, the inability to use the runners. Against Port Adelaide, it was the free kick count.
Ifs, buts, maybes. But I think the close loss is a reflection of where we're at. I think what is it? 8 points, 4 points, 1 point. What was it tonight? 10. 10 with a 25-10 free kick count. But no, that's... Yeah, but they missed some stuff and we missed it. So, look, I'm not being flippant.
And against the Western Bulldogs, it was a short break.
I don't want to use excuses, but I certainly come here, I was cautious and I flagged, even in a pre-game interview, that it's our second 4-day prep. Is that what it is? It's 3 and 11 games.
3 and 11 days.
Yeah, so, but it's not an excuse, I don't know. They might have had something similar.
Yeah, so I think the problem for Ross is he's got to describe what the game plan is and how they're going to score more. So they averaged 73 points for the season. Yesterday they took 117 marks and kicked 7 goals. Hawthorn had kicked 8 goals to three-quarter time, didn't kick a goal in the last quarter, yet the Saints weren't able to run over a bottom 4 side and get it done. So they've got to come up with a game plan, and he has to describe that. Don't worry about the excuses. Just tell us how you're going to adjust your game plan to try and score and challenge the best sides.
On the flip side, of course, a lot to love about Hawthorn at the moment, and we'll delve into why the turnaround has happened so rapidly so far.
Yeah, they were. It was a close clash yesterday down in Tasmania. 8 goals to 7 at the end of the game. King kicked a couple, Battle and Owens. Watson was the best game I think I've seen him play. Carl Amon, Newcombe was very good. Jarman, Impey, Steele, Bonner, but I thought it was Carl Amon from half-back. Kane, we spoke about the half-backs during the week, how good they were and how they could get access to a fair bit of the ball against St Kilda. Carl Amon was good, so too was Newcombe.
Yeah, Newcombe was awesome. I thought it was his best game for the year. Started slowly, but his last 3 weeks have been really strong. So inside, the work there and your ability to then get out. And I thought, whilst they didn't win it, their pressure around the midfield was excellent. So, I mean, he's the one for them. Days had a couple of games back after that interrupted pre-season, so good to get him back in. And I just think Meek's been really strong as a presence in ruck as well. He's really commanded that #1 ruck opportunity. And once again, when Hawks have been beaten, they've been beaten badly for the midfield, but they got on top yesterday and led by Newcombe, who you featured in your vote.
He's in there. I thought Rowan Marshall was extraordinary yesterday. Jack Steele didn't stop trying, but Carl Amon's use of the football, I think he went at 96%, around 32 disposals, so a very good day for Hawthorn, 3 of their last 4.